Alright guys, so in this session I will be talking about this topic, India-US relations and the recent free speech conflict. Okay, so the context of discussion is this: US actually asking India to ban Russian state media outlet, which is RT. Okay, see, if you look at India, we don't have a state media network or state funded media network, but for Russia it is there, which is RT. China it is there, UK it is there, US it is there. So what US is asking now is ban Russian state media outlet RT. Okay, so we will be getting into the details of it and how it is connected with the freedom of speech, okay, and free speech conflict, etc., and how is it going to affect the India-US relation. That also we need to look into. So they may not ask this as a question directly, but they will give you this as a context and then they will ask you India-US relation. So that is a possibility. Otherwise, if there is a question on India-US relation, you should be in a position to bring this point over there. Even if there is a question on India-Russia relation, you need to bring this point over there, even though US asked us to do this, what we did to our all-time good friend. Okay, so these are the points and the connections that you need to make when it comes to this particular topic. So let's get started. The PDF is there, everything is ready. So US call for action, US request to ban Russian media RT. So perception, RT is viewed by the US as a tool of Russian propaganda. So they are voicing against US and spreading a wrong propaganda. That's what US is claiming. So US actually formally called on India to block access to RT in India. So broader context, this request is part of wider sanction against Russia. So when we discussed about UAE relation also, we have discussed about this point, the sanctions which is imposed on Russia, etc. So here now India's response, a stand on sovereignty. So India outrightly refused, India refused to follow the US request to ban RT. So that's against freedom of speech, right? So statement, the Ministry of External Affairs stated that the request was not relevant to India's interest. In fact, Russia is our all-time friend also. So policy, India reaffirmed its stand on independent foreign policy decision, independent, neutral, etc. And we are independent and we won't be forced or pressurized by other countries to do anything. So that's the foreign policy that we have. If you look at, this can be a prelims question. I've taken this fact just because it is there in the news. US, it's Voice of America, the government funded media. UK, it is BBC. Russia, it's RT. China, I think CGTS, you just need to refer that. Okay, so US concerns media as cyber warfare. So the agenda, the argument of US is that Russia is leading a cyber warfare by using RT. Okay, so this platform, they are running a cyber warfare, attacking US and Ukraine. So threat perception, the US sees that RT as significant threat in cyber warfare. The accusation is spreading misinformation that undermining democratic values, especially against US, and also Ukraine is there. So digital battle, this is a part of the wider battle over controlling the narrative. Okay, now India's neutral stance on information control. So non-alignment, India is not siding with US in blocking Russian media outlets, of course. Okay, and contrast with Europe. Unlike Europe, India hasn't banned RT. See, there are many countries which have banned RT. And if you look at the tagline of RT, it's actually freedom over censorship and truth over narrative. So you can see the censorship was imposed on many countries, especially if you look at Europe. Okay, and historical context, India stance reflects its long-term neutral foreign policy. So here I'm only talking about India's neutral stance. So Europe have taken a decision on ban and we are neutral and we are not doing that. We are completely refuse that argument anyway. So freedom of speech versus national security. Now US move to ban Russian media has sparked debate about the free speech, but their argument is national security is more important. Okay, advocates argument, free speech advocates argue that banning RT contradicts US principles. Yes, US democratic principles, the freedom of speech is one of the most important aspect of that. But the issue is that they are claiming that it's against national interest. So Russia is running a cyber warfare against US using this media. So banning this media is very much required. But that is beyond freedom of speech. National security is over and above freedom of speech. Okay, now Elon Musk stand. If you look at 2022-23 also, this discussion was there, was asking, European Union was asking to ban this, but Musk have refused to do that. So refusal, Elon Musk refused to remove RT from his platform X. Okay, and argument, Musk argued that censoring RT would set to a dangerous precedent. That's again against the freedom, okay, freedom of speech. The approach, he encouraged countering misinformation with factual arguments rather than bans. You come up with factual arguments, and if you think that they are running a cyber warfare or a misinformation is spread, then you come with a counter argument with the facts, and that way you can control that or counter that instead of banning them. Okay. Implications for India-US relations. So there will be, that friction is there. Disagreement over media censorship could create friction between India and US. That is one point. Concerns, the US has expressed concern over RT's presence in India. The same point which I have discussed already, it can spread misinformation about Russia. And future impact of potential areas of tension in otherwise strong strategic relations. So these things can lead to tensions in the future. Global reactions on this. European Union, several European Union countries have already banned RT. United States, the US aligns with EU in restricting Russian media. India, divergence shows a unique diplomatic path. That's very clear. Our stand is very clear. It's a unique diplomatic path. You are not aligned to US, nor with Europe, nor with Russia also. The principles are what matters, right? It's part of freedom of speech. So again, when I discussed about Elon Musk, I told you, if you want to counter misinformation, counter it with the facts and figures, not with ban. US Secretary of State's view, threat assessment. So he expressed that RT is a threat to democracy as it is spreading misinformation or wrong information about US, and it's a threat to democracy. That's what their claim. And US government believe RT operates as an arm of Russian intelligence. And the broader concern that this reflects the US larger concern over Russia's influence campaigns. All these are connected with the same informations and points. Guys, for you, all these minute points are not important. Since I've taken these topics, I'm just covering the different dimensions of this. You never expect that they will be asking you a specific question on this. Okay, it won't be asked, so you don't want to know all these. You just need to know this happened, and this is going to affect India-US relation in future, and a strain can be created now as we are not following. But what is our stand? It's a neutral stand, and we are not aligning with any of them. Non-alignment is our stand, and we are respecting the freedom of speech. So we are not ready to go with this. And even you can, if it is asked in this context, you can even mention about Elon Musk. I'm talking about not this as a question. I'm talking about this as a context. They will ask you India-US relation. Okay. Even if they ask simply India-US relation, this issue need to be brought in, and hardly 30, 40 words. Beyond that, no. Okay. So India's strategic non-alignment. Now the consistency. India's refusal is consistent with its non-aligned stand. Balance. India has historically balanced relation with Western powers and Russia. And strategy, the refusal to ban RT is part of its broader strategy, again, of non-alignment or our democratic principles. Okay. We have freedom of speech in our constitution. So how can we ban? Okay. So the role of media in diplomacy, soft power. Media as a tool of diplomacy and soft power. Projection. Countries use media outlets to project power and influence narrative. See, normally these medias are supposed to be neutral, but there will be situations, since they are funded by states, with respect to the state it will be neutral, anything within the state it will be neutral, but when it comes to foreign policy, as it is funded by the state, there will be bias. Right? That's the situation, and that's what we are discussing here. So otherwise, these funded networks, they are reliable and they should be neutral. They are supposed to be neutral. They comes with a good perspective and everything. BBC, if you look at. But when it comes to foreign policy, then there will be bias, because you are funded by, let's say, BBC. It is funded by UK, right? So it will be biased against us when it comes to foreign policy. Right? Same will be the case here also. right? Information control. The ongoing conflict shows the importance of controlling information in diplomacy. Guys, these are points I've just added for the sake of PPT, not relevant. Whatever is relevant, I think we have already discussed. It's not a big topic. Just mentioned since it came in the news, some of you might be very surprised. What is US is asking us to ban, Russian media in India? What is this, right? So that's why I've taken this topic. So the ongoing role, now future of global media and diplomacy. Media will continue to play a key role in shaping global perspectives, of course. Okay. And intensifying battle. The battle over who controls the global narrative will only intensify. A look at the future of media diplomacy and geopolitical influence. See, media again plays a crucial role when it comes to everything. In democracy also, if you look at, we consider it as a fourth pillar, right? Now, broader issues, the clash over RT represents issues of sovereignty, media influence and global politics. Very clearly we have discussed that. Now, the India's decisions shows its non-aligned stance. We are not standing with any of the superpowers, neither with UK, nor with US, nor with Russia, though Russia is our friend. Okay. India's decision reflects its ongoing strategic balance act between the superpowers. Non-alignment. Global implication, the role of free speech and censorship is an interconnected world. Okay, so again the point here, the argument of Elon Musk is much better, that if you want to counter a misinformation, come with the actual information and the facts rather than ban, right? So that's the best solution. So that's it guys, thank you so much. We're done with this topic.